I did do a test beforehand. Yeah, YouTube's live, Rumble's live. Do we have any? Huh. Because I didn't post anywhere. There's just me, myself, and I. Nice. All right. So me speaking to me. Here's my rundown of the interviews from last week. We have AC, our third interview with AC. AC is a Chess Canada Master, which is a ranked role, I think, in the world. I have no clue, actually. Let's say top 4K in the world. I'm sure that's accurate enough. Top 4,000 chess players in terms of rankings. He is 20 years old as well, so achieved quite a bit. Mainly focused on the crypto campus. Currently, though, because of the market situation, everything that's happening, the professors within the real world are recommending a majority cash holding. And it's not good market conditions for trading either. So yeah, he's mainly holding cash right now. Past 2 months, not that much progress because of the rough market conditions. He's just been stacking up. And yeah, talked about chess, talked about what he learned from Michael, and that Michael is just so ahead of everyone else. Professor Michael. And in order to show me just how ahead Michael is, he gave me 2 riddles to do, which I kind of struggled with for a bit, but I did understand it after. Kind of figure out, kind of done. You can watch the video, try to solve the riddles yourself. Let me know if you did better than me. Okay, so that is AC. Then we had Pablo. I remember Pablo. Cool guy. Just connected well with him. I remember the first interview. Just seems to be a good person. Good, genuine person. And now he has quit his... He used to work for a copywriting agency. And now he says, in order to earn the same amount that he earns now, he would have had to do 18-hour work days in his agency consistently. Whereas now he's working as a freelancer with a lot more time and basically earning same income as, or even more technically than he would have before. So he's scaling that. Then he's got a lot more businesses in the pipeline, which he's working on. Discusses that there. Then talks about his clients, the 2 clients he's working with. I can't remember one of the sectors he said, something to do with health maybe, or beauty, something to do with beauty niche. And the other one was personal development. And for the personal development one, he said he landed one of the biggest personal development coaches in Europe as a client. So yeah, he's doing very well for himself. That, I'd say, is rundown on Pablo. And then we have Yanis. And Yanis, one of the best interviews, one of the best success stories to come out of the real world. Except from then later Najam. I believe that's right. Najam. Yeah. Najam was huge, but I'll get onto that. Up until that point, Yanis, I'm pretty sure, was probably the best epitome of a real world success story. Because prior to joining, okay, let me give you a timeline. He joined in July. Now it's August, September, October. Actually, I'm pretty sure when he said July, he meant July of 22. Okay, so it's been just over a year that he's been within the campus. He's 30 years old, and he's from Greece. And he applied basically every single lesson from each of the campuses to become a full stack marketer. And he landed some very huge clients, working with celebrities and some very huge brands. And everything he learned, again, was from the real world. So he gives a breakdown of how each campus was beneficial to him, how he combined them, the offers, what he offered in terms of services, pricing structure as well. And yeah, because of all of that, after applying all the lessons from the real world, he earned $590,000 in 6 months. So yeah, there's Yanis, as I said, the epitome of a real world success story. Whereas prior prior to joining the real world, they didn't have knowledge on any of the things he's doing now. So definitely an interview worth watching. Then we have Omar, who had 6 years of marketing experience prior to joining the real world, digital marketing. And but not as much for copywriting. So he learned copywriting from the real world, and after 2 months, he applied the lessons he learned to a business he was working in, and he scaled that from 12,000 to 60,000. I can't remember the time span, but in a fairly short time span. So clearly, what he learned worked, and then he later landed a client for himself. It took 300 emails, though, to land the client. So again, when you do come into the real world, it's not like you just get clients out of nowhere. You still need to put in the work. He done outreach as... Just need to... Web table. Okay. He outreached to 300 people before he landed his first one. And that's fairly common. So if you're not willing to put in the work, probably not even worth joining. Although you do learn some mindset things, it is good skills to learn. I mean, for $50. Anyway, who am I to say? Just watch all the interviews I'm doing and judge for yourself. Then we have Philippe, who is that's the first time I heard about it. He's a white paper copywriter, something along those lines, white paper copywriting. And he earned 15 to 17,000, somewhere in that range, from white paper copywriting. He explains in the interview what that is, and how he landed the clients. I asked him some copywriting questions, how he improved as a copywriter, and how his lifestyle has changed. Because now he has the freedom to travel around the world. I think when we done the interviews in Germany, he had plans to go to different places. He had traveled to other places before. So yeah, being a white paper copywriter has now allowed him to travel the world on the money he makes. There you go. Another success story there. Then we have Fez, who I interviewed, I can't remember how long ago now, but he is now getting into e-com and content creation, combining both, his experience in both. Because previously he had made content creation videos for e-commerce clients who had e-commerce stores. Man, me rubbing my nose is a bit suspicious. It might seem like I'm on something. But no, it's just there was construction work happening in the studio, so there's quite a bit of dust. Do I really need to justify myself? Listen, if you think I'm taking something, think I'm taking something. All right. Fez. Yeah, so he used to do content creation stuff, UGC stuff for e-commerce clients, and realized he could just do all of this for himself. So make an e-com product to distribute and make the content for it, and that's what he's doing now. And he talked quite a bit about the content creation campus as well, went in depth into it because he's a captain there. And yeah, that was the catch up with Fez. And then we had Joseph. Now, Joseph was a funny interview. I really enjoyed speaking to him. As you can see in the title, earning 85,000 at 20 years old. So Joseph joined already having a business, a plumbing business, but he wasn't very successful. And he's actually a unique case because he didn't even use the lessons that much. He purely joined for the community aspect because he was saying how it boosts him and how much it helped him to have people around him with the same mindset, people getting richer together, gym motivation for him. It's just a community of, again, like-minded individuals, and that helped his progress. And how some things he got from talking to people within the community, just how much that helped him scale his business as well. Talks about that. Then he started, okay, here's another situation with Joseph. He started his plumbing business because he needed money for a wedding, for his wedding, that is. But Usually I wouldn't be saying this publicly, but he revealed this himself publicly. But he asked for a prenup before the marriage with his wife, and this just go watch the interview. Why would I be the one telling you this? What? That's such a weird thing to talk about from my end. If you want to know more about it, yeah, just go watch the interview and hear it from his mouth. But basically, he's got two dilemmas. If one thing doesn't work out, then he has a backup plan for another. That's as much as I'm going to say. That's me done with Joseph. All right, then we have Julian, who is actually the first crypto trading person I've interviewed ever since Michael's masterclass has come out. Reason for it, because campus is split and I had contact with Adam, so I just go to Adam to ask for interviewees. I just didn't message Michael, so my fault there. But yeah, Julian is 16 years old. He's gone through the crypto trading masterclass. And just explains his experience with it. Everything he's learned, all the material, okay, not all the material within. How the material within was beneficial to him. And yeah, it's mainly just focused around that. Let me do a quick break to see if there are any questions. Hey! Hello, Mendawazi. Have I interviewed you? Because name seems familiar, but okay, let me know. Let me know. I think I have, right? And if not, then need to in future. 230. You're really gonna make me scroll through the interviews to check which one it was. Okay, let's see. 230 was a while ago. Nick? You're Nick? Confirm? Yoji just replied to your message, so sorry, just at work. Docking Joker. Wait, is this over the reward? I can't check reward now since I'm screen recording and I'll leak. Nick. Nice. We will need to do a follow-up interview. Let me know how you're doing. Because it's been... Wait, I've tabbed out. It's been 8 weeks. Okay, so not quite 9 weeks yet. How has it then been that much scrolling and it hasn't even been 3 months yet? Wait, 9 weeks. Wow. Anyway, 12. It will be 12 weeks, right? 4, 8, 12. Yeah. So when it reaches 12 weeks, then we do the follow-up. But yeah, huge. That was a lot of scrolling to get to just 210. Or 230, that is. Okay. Yes, real world. I replied to your Telegram message. Cool. So, Docking Joker, I'll get back to you after this interview. After this live stream, that is. And we'll schedule a time. Doing great. Me and my boy actually decided to not do a podcast, but start an event planning business. There you go. So stuff you can talk about during an interview. How's that going? Event planning business. It can be weddings, car meets, anything. It would be interesting to hear how you even got the idea for it. Is it something that fit your skill set? And hello, Ayman Mossi. Ayman. Are you the Ayman I know or a different Ayman? Because there's an Ayman I met recently who I now know. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I'll continue reading chat after. Let me get back to the review. Now we're on Seth. Earning 10K per month at 19 through content creation. When I done my previous interview with Seth, I think 3 months earlier, in total, he had earned $5,000. And now just 3 months later, he's now at $10,000 per month. And you might ask, how do you go from 5K total over several months to 10K a month? Which is it's a feasible question. That's the closest words I can think of. Okay. So since you're asking such logical, feasible questions, yeah, I'll answer. He got an opportunity because of all these skills he's acquired. And by all the skills, I mean copywriting, content creation, and I can't remember the third one. But he spent a lot of time in 3 main campuses, and through that, Pope actually knew someone who needed Seth's skill set. So Pope recommended Seth to them, and he traveled across the country to meet them and work with them. And now, because of applying his skill set, he's earning 10K per month. Once again, you put in the work, you learn skills from the real world, you see income. Interesting how that works. All right. Anything else for Seth? He reveals a story he has never publicly told before. That was quite interesting. He said he wanted to leave it until he was famous, but he's going to be famous soon, so it's fine. He revealed it. All right, and that was Seth. And then we have Micah, who blended copywriting and content creation together to offer his services. And he was quite a good storyteller. It was interesting to listen to his stories. And he talks about his story, and how he landed clients. He has big goals, so wish him all the best with that. And yeah, that's Micah. Let me see more on if anyone messaged. No one else messaged. Live streaming. Nope. Nothing on Rumble. All right, so we continue with Ozzy. Ozzy was a funny one. It was a fun interview as well. This is a bad contrast, but going from funny to a very rough past. Weird transition. But yeah, he had a very rough past where he grew up because of his situation. Talks about that, some interesting stories from there. Then how he went from that rough childhood to where he is now. Then he has does martial arts. Can't remember what he said for martial arts. I think he's actually doing MMA now. So yeah, MMA. He's earning 4K per month. And we talk quite a bit about how trauma strengthens you. And yeah, I don't remember what was Ozzy. So I'll move on to Carol. Carol is Polish. He earned 5K for 3 hours of work. And we discuss how he used the knowledge he acquired from the real world to land his client and fulfill the project for his client. It's a short interview, so that's Carol. I'll move on to Selena. Now, Selena, once again, someone who was very fun to talk to. And interesting story. She had sales experience prior to joining, and I think even copywriting as well. But she talks about how the resources from outside the real world, they just weren't succinct. Man, I'm really up in my vocabulary today. It wasn't succinct. I don't even know if that was the right application of it. It just felt right. Okay. And yeah, process for learning copywriting for the real world compared to outside of it. And a funny thing she said, she watches Andrew Tate's videos so much that even her partner has gotten tired of listening to it. So yeah, completely opposite dynamic to what you'd usually hear. Then she talks about how she just became a better person in every way, physically, mentally, in terms of how lifestyle changed, relationships, all changed because of the real world, and how she became a better wife from listening to Andrew Tate. So that was really cool. Enjoy the conversation with Selena. Then we have Nick with, my friend has people in his IRL university that host lots of parties, and he thought it was a good idea to start hosting one himself. He brought me in because of the knowledge I can gain from the real world. There you go. Once again, real world coming in clutch. But it's nice that you can use, as in, it's nice when there's things going on around you, and then you can link something that's going on with a money-making opportunity. And once again, that usually only happens after you've put in the work to acquire a skill set. There's actually an Emery Tate quote. I did not acquire a full skill set. I'm going to butcher this, but yeah. I did not acquire a full skill set to be told not to do something by amateurs. That's how I remember it. It's pretty bad paraphrasing, but yeah. He obviously phrased it better than me since it was his own quote. Cool. Then we have Lev. Lev is 14 years old and earned how much was it? 4K. Made 4K as a 14-year-old from e-commerce. And he decided to do e-commerce instead of playing games. Because, yeah, other kids his age playing games, doing good stuff. He's like, nah, how about I just level up in real life and gamify making an e-commerce store and I get rewarded by money. There you go. Smart kid. And what did he do? He talks about what his average day looks like, biggest challenges, advice to people starting out with e-com, and process of going through the lessons, pretty much. That's what I remember from that. Then we have Jan, who is 15, some very young guys. 15, Slovakia, started a social media marketing agency after joining the client acquisition campus. Made his first $1,500 within the initial 20 days of joining. I just didn't want to say first again, so that was a weird way of putting it. He made $1,500 within his first 20 days of joining the Real World. From there, he got a referral, and from that referral, a lot of other clients, and scaled it to 7,000. So once again, let me reiterate, 7,000 as a 15-year-old. It's pretty good. Living in Slovakia. I believe there was one more thing, actually. Initially, he had sent out 500 DMs. Actually, initially 300 DMs. All trash, his own words. Then he spoke to Dylan about it. Dylan gave him feedback, started implementing feedback. And within the next 200, he actually started getting responses from people. Then eventually landed client. So in total, it took him 500 outreaches to land first client. But first 300, no responses at all. Because of the outreach method he was using was super bad. Implemented Dylan's, actually started getting responses. And then, 200 later, landed client. And from there, it's just 7K. Then we have Carson. Carson. What did I miss? Oh, wait, I missed Ali. No, I didn't. 305, 306, 307. Yeah, it's just weird order because Rumble sometimes uploads it weird. Carson! I need energy. I might need to do something dumb. Like, or bang my chest. Okay. Feeling better. Carson is... What did Carson do? He combined content creation lessons and AI lessons. Anything else? Let me check. Use content creation and AI to land a client for podcasting. You might say, huh? How does this work? Which he goes in depth on how exactly he proposed his pitch for starting a podcast, for a business to start a podcast, how that would help them, and how he help them scale things. And he earned 10,000 in 3 months by offering those services, if that made sense. And he breaks down what he does for his client, basically. Better than me. So go listen to that if you're interested. Then we had Ali, who joined 2 months ago. This 24. He's a technical writer, writing articles. Talks about how he landed a client from YouTube. And I think that client pays him either 8K or 5K. I don't remember exactly. 8K is in my mind. I think it's 8K. But yeah, that's main overview of that. And then we go on to Najam, who has left me speechless. Najam, 1 hour, 10-minute interview. And by the end of it, I'm telling you, I was speechless. And that's the first time in 310 interviews that I've been left speechless. Even now, thinking back on it, it's just, wow. That guy. He is that guy. Okay. In 3.5 months, he has had the biggest change I've ever seen in anyone. Before joining, he had lost his flat. He was living with the mother of his wife. He almost had no money. He has a kid, and he was depressed. And a lot of other things as well. Those were just the main 5. And he, at some point, was just laying on a couch, being lazy, as he was before. And he came across Andrew Tate video. He ended up watching all of it and joined the real world. And then he just decided it was time to change his life trajectory. Because, yeah, it was just going to shit. And in 3.5 months, basically starting from nothing, he got 60K in those 3 months. And he just was completely relentless in everything. Completely transformed to a different person. And again, just a full story there. A 1 hour, 10-minute story on his transformation. Definitely recommend watching that for inspiration. Because he was insane. His story was insane. I love speaking to him. Any questions? Let's see. Exactly, you can't lose within the real world. Even the universe helps you win. Yes. Newton's third law, or whichever law it was. Energy can't be... no, that is not his third law. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. I believe that was the third law. Meaning, if you put in the energy and effort into something, it's inevitable that eventually you will get a reward from it. Especially when you have a direction and guidance from something like the real world. There you go. Then we go on to Alex, who is a professional mogul skier. Didn't know that that's what it's referred to, but yeah, mogul skier, where you go ski down and then you ski up and then you do backflips. Not the best representation of it, but yeah. He skills while skiing. Let's break it down to that. It was actually a pretty intense sport. And he's planning on going to the Olympics in 2026. So that would be really cool when he does make it. As for what he does, he learned from content creation, video editing, and now he's taking a gap year from uni, applying the content creation lessons for video editing to do video edits for a client. And in total, he's earned $5,000 from his video edits. That's Alex. Everything else is basically a story about mogul skiing and some more stuff about the real world. And then we have Tiger. Tiger is very similar to Julian. He's a crypto trading success. Has a very analytical mind. He works in the IT sector, cybersecurity, data analyst, I believe, as well. So yeah, it gives a unique perspective from his end on things. And I don't know if I already said this, similar to Julian in a way where he gives a very in-depth breakdown of the crypto trading campus, Michael's masterclass, how he got into the masterclass, and his experience with the professors and material within. That's pretty much the majority of the interview. And now we go on to the final one. Interview 21 of this week. Mr. Brandon, who is 22 years old. I would not have been able to tell he was 22. I really thought he was older. And he has a wife and daughter as well. And his own company. So he's really on a good trajectory for himself. He found out about the real world through Justin Waller, a fellow cowboy. Because Brandon is in Texas. And actually his real world username is Texas Top G. GG. But ignore the other two G's. Texas Top G. Okay, so he went through the Business Mastery Campus to help scale his construction business, and he has earned $22,500 since joining. He explains how the Business Mastery Campus helped him achieve that. And yeah, that's Brandon. He's a cool guy. Talks about Tate Pledge. He wants to donate to Tate Pledge. Wants to do good things for the world. Has huge aspirations. So super cool guy. It was great to speak to Brandon as well. And after this interview, you'll see 3 more within the next few hours uploaded, because the grind does not stop. I'm basically halfway there though, in terms of interviewees. I decided to start doing 3 interviews a day from interview 262. Now on 310, which is 52. So yeah, basically halfway there, over halfway there. But I'll probably continue it to the end of the month anyway. Anyway, any questions before I end off? What do you have? Nothing from Nick. Nothing else from Dark King Joker. Anything from YouTube? Nothing else from YouTube. Cool. Well, thank you to everyone who tuned in for my ramble. If anyone have any questions, feel free to tune in next Friday, 8 p.m. Spain time, and ask me whatever you want to ask. And until then, all the best to everyone.